Live, brought to you exclusively by Avant Field.
How you doing tonight? Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. How you doing tonight? That was me in echo mode because Beck was checking to make sure this is live. But I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. I know we are. It's the beginning of the new week, and we have another Ike Live at the bar for you tonight. Of course, Becky here with me, and we are at the bar, and we like to start these out by letting you know what we're going to have tonight. And then, please, if you're watching, I know it's a Monday, but if you're 21 years or older, and you're just sitting around watching this, grab a cocktail, grab a glass of wine, grab a beer, grab a bottle of Mad Dog 2020, grape,
some hot tea and some coffee.
Or hot tea and coffee or water. Listen, you don't have to drink, but tonight I'm going with my brother-in-law got me these. This is Lawson's Sip of Sunshine IPA, based out of Connecticut, Lawson's, and going to enjoy a couple beers with you tonight. Miss Rebecca, what are you having tonight? What are you drinking? Let everybody know.
I made a Cosmo out of my Bartesian. It's the Keurig for cocktails because I'm lazy and I didn't want to actually make my own drink.
Oh, yeah.
And I made this in honor of my fabulous sunburn. Everyone see sunburn? Yeah, I'm that lady who puts SPF on her face, a hat, and sunglasses, and to fry myself. So, yeah. Never send your kids to my house. I'll burn them to a crisp.
First of all, before we get this started, I did want to say this, Beck, and I think it's interesting. Really, really, really appreciate all the positive comments we got since the last At the Bar, which was a couple weeks ago. In fact, they're coming through social media and email and even in person. We were up in Boston and Maine, Kittery outpost over the weekend. A lot of people digging these at the bars. So
yeah, I actually had a couple come up to me. So hopefully they're watching.
Yes.
Hi guys.
So I'm glad you guys are watching, and cheers tonight on a Monday. Thank you for tuning in. You know how these work. We really.
But look, we got lighting. So anyone that joined us last time that was mad at our lighting, we worked on it.
Yeah, we did work on it. So we have some lighting.
I still have a weird one.
We have some lighting tonight, and we also have a new camera tonight. So I hope the visuals and the sound is a little better for you tonight. But you know how these work. The great thing about these at the bars, we're just hanging out with you guys, and we're going to talk about anything you want to talk about. So Becky and I will be monitoring some of the social sites, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube as this live goes on. And if you got questions or comments, you want to talk about something, let us know. You know, I want to start with something, if it's okay. Do you mind? You see that? This is great because we don't have scripts on this one.
No, actually 5 minutes ago in the kitchen, he goes, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
I know, and I didn't know either. But I want to start tonight by talking about something that's really going on with me and how disappointed I am in something. And so, you know, here's the reality of it. Beck, and you know this, Beck's nickname for me is Old Man. She calls me Old Man. And I am getting old. I'm going to be 52 in June. So I'm getting up there in age. I'm getting older. And as I get older, you know, health issues are creeping in a little bit, you know, not major, but little stuff. And so I'm having some like pressure pain issues, and basically not to get totally into it. But so I went to the doctor. The doctor made a CT scan. Is that correct term? CT scan appointment. The doctor said, here's a script. Go get a CT scan of your abdomen. I said, great. Let's figure out what this is. So today we get a phone call from the imaging center where the CT scan was supposed to happen. And they basically, here's what they say. They say, your insurance is not going to approve this procedure. So we've canceled your appointment. Are you kidding me?
I get the calls. He doesn't get the calls.
No, Beck got the call. But you
Does
agree.
anyone else have a husband who doesn't make any of their own doctor's appointments and doesn't even speak to the people at the office?
Well, that's true, but that's besides the point. So my issue is with my bigger issue is the health system, the medical health system, in particular,
like lifestyle.
The insurance system in the United States of America is fucking broken.
Yes.
It's broken. And I'm mad about it.
He's mad.
I'm mad about it. I'm mad because I wanted to get this scan to see if there's anything wrong down there. Maybe it's nothing. I used to chew on lead split shots when I was a kid. Could have something to do with that. I do drink a lot. Could have something to do with that. I don't know. I want to get it checked out, but I can't because the insurance company didn't approve a procedure that was prescribed by the doctor.
I thought we were going to talk about how you have bad cholesterol, but you refuse to stop eating steaks and
Well, I
hamburgers.
do. That's true too. That's true too.
Mike needs to go on a diet.
Yeah, this is a question for you out there. Anybody watching? I'm going to especially look for the comments here. If you're watching and you have high cholesterol, let me know because I do. I've had it for a while. Here's the thing. I don't manage it, and probably the main reason I don't manage it is I like cheese. I really like cheese.
Just cheese.
And I know cheese is bad, but I like cheese. I like cheese on cheesesteaks and omelets. Man, I like to eat just cheese, straight up just cheese. Sometimes I open the kitchen drawer in the middle of the night and I just get a piece of cheese.
You think that's your cholesterol problem? The cheese.
I think it's the cheese. But I mean, honestly, it's a concern, and I eventually have to figure out the cholesterol issue, either through diet or through medication or something like that. But in the meantime, Lawson's Zip of Sunshine IPA is banging, and it's got to be good for your cholesterol. I'm not sure, but it's got to be pretty good.
Isn't wine supposed to be good for your cholesterol?
I think wine's good for everything, man. They say a glass of wine every night is good for you.
I don't think they say that.
Don't they say that? Well, here's the thing. If you're watching and I'm trying to monitor the comments too, but if you're watching and if you've been to Europe.
Turmeric. I have turmeric in the house.
Is turmeric a cure for cholesterol?
He's not going to take any turmeric.
What is turmeric? I don't even know what it is. Is that weed? What is it?
Oh, turmeric. It's like an herb.
Oh.
You can take it as a.
Oh, it's an herb. I would take an herb.
Red wine's good for you.
Yeah.
But he can't drink red wine anymore either. So you talk about old man, it puts him to sleep.
Red wine does put me to sleep. But here's what I was going to say about the consumption of wine every day is, and this is just a general observation, but seems to me every time I've been in Europe, I've been there a few times fishing and stuff like that. The people are healthy. They look good. They're just, full of life. And then Europeans drink wine like it's water. Like I'm telling you, they'd have a glass of wine for like breakfast, lunch, everything. So I think wine's good for you. Pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Says Italian. So so you've all been filled in on Mike's medical.
Yeah, the health insurance system is a fraud. So there's that. But let's see if we got any questions coming through here. And I told you I'm getting older. Look at this. It's like the night for me to complain real quick. This is the last thing I'll personally complain about. 2 years ago. So at
2 years ago.
2.5 years ago, when I was about 49 years old, my eyes started going to where I can't see stuff close up. So These have become my new best friend. I have 50 pair pants. Beck's washing them. They're in the truck. They're in the boat. They're under the bed. They're everywhere. They're in my shirt. They're in my, these things everywhere. Cheap readers. Twos is the lens size. Man, it's frustrating because I can tell you the thing that it sucks the worst is I was always very proud, Beck, you know this, always very proud of my knot tying skills. So, in the boat, break off, have to retie, ready. Now it's like, where's my readers? Putting these things on, I can't see, I'm tying knots. It's like 5 minutes. And I dislike that. I dislike that. All right,
don't worry, Goob. We're going through that wine.
We are going through the wine. Yeah. All right. Enough of the personal health issues and getting old problems. Let's switch it up a little bit and get back to fishing. I think we should get back to fishing a little bit, don't you?
Yeah. So in our neck of the woods, what's happening right now? They're spawning.
They are spawning. So we had sort of a strange start to the spring. We had a full moon on Tuesday here. And then here, the last couple days, it was sunny and calm. And the fish crashed. And it was in the 80s. So it is spawning season up here in the Northeast. And I will say, Delaware, New Jersey, Eastern Pennsylvania, Maryland, seen a lot of spawning fish. And one of the observations that I want to make to you, and it's interesting because people always assume that the big waves of spawning fish happen on the moon. And it didn't happen like that, right? The full moon was Tuesday. And I went out on Tuesday, they weren't there. I went out on Wednesday, they weren't there. Thursday, not there. It wasn't until the conditions got right with calm, sunny, and warm, right, that they made that crash. So it's a good lesson, if you're watching the moons and you assume that they all spawn on the full moon or on the new moon, it's not just that. It's a combination of factors. But they are spawning. And it's been fun the last few days out there. Now, here's the thing. If you're watching this right now, I would love for you to comment right now whether you agree with sight fishing for spawners, or you don't agree with it, because it's a bit of a polarizing topic as well. It's not as polarizing as forward-facing sonar, but bed fishing is a bit of a polarizing topic. Beck, what's your opinion on it? Seriously, because you do it. You've sight fished and you've caught big ones sight fished. And how do you feel about it? How do you think?
Yeah, but it's hard because when we go out sight fishing, we're going to catch a fish and release it right there at the bed.
Right.
So I guess the question is, if we're worried about a healthy spawn, should tournaments either one, not fish during sight fishing, bed fishing season, or does it need to be like a catch and release style? So the kayak style.
Or Bass Pro Tour.
Bass Pro Tour, yes,
they
exactly.
Weigh them and let them go.
Yeah. Because I know there's always conversation back and forth about if you're hurting the fish.
If you're hurting the fish.
So a fish? Okay, so I actually, I'm stupid. I don't know. So if you catch a female,
you're not stupid. You're very smart,
who has not released her eggs and everything, and you then have to run, say, 40 miles, 30 miles, even 20 miles, because don't they say a fish lives within a mile or two of like their whole lives? Don't they have that study where they stay within a certain...
I don't know if that's true.
Anyways, I don't know what that is. But I know they stay within a small vicinity. So if you take them, I mean, they'll still have to release the eggs.
Yeah, well, if you catch the female and she hasn't dropped yet.
And bass are sluts, so they'll find a new name.
It doesn't matter because if you take her 50 miles,
they're not like penguins. Don't the penguins mate for life
listen,
or something?
if the female has eggs and she didn't drop, she's not going to drop them in the live well. She's going to hold on to them until she has a chance.
But she'll go make another bed somewhere.
She'll find another male. So that's right. They're sluts. So remember, if you're watching this, if you're not familiar with this process, you know, when the things get right, like what happened out here the last few days, you know, the males get up there and they start kind of looking around up there. They get up there and.
So wait, so what we're saying then is not that it's the health of the bass or the reproduction. Well, I guess if you took a fry garter, see, that's then you potentially.
If you take a male.
But to the viewer, is it boring?
What boring? Sight fishing?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's boring for sight fishing. I think the bigger issue is
some pink worm at the sea.
Nah.
Fish till you get
well, it's no more boring than forward-facing
sonar. Well, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Is that what people's argument is? That it's boring like forward-facing sonar.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's only for a tournament or two.
I don't know. It's a good topic. I would like to say real quick, Bass After Dark. Good friend Brian the Carpenter has a little podcast going on, and they have addressed this. And I heard,
and they're way smarter than us.
They're way smarter. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to Brian Carpenter. They're way smarter than we are. And I did hear the argument. I happen to tune into as many as I can. It's a great podcast if you're watching this one.
I like Frank Walder. He said, I think them bass are fine doing what people are doing with them because they ain't extinct yet.
Yeah, they ain't extinct. Frank, you're right. They ain't extinct. They're not. They're still around.
Frank.
But Frank, honestly, that's the argument. So I listened to a biologist on that show, and they had the same topic. And the biologist said, it's not hurting them at all because they don't have it. There's not a lot of predators for them, right? That it's not hurting. In fact, it might be helping because, catch and release has become such a big thing that there's too many bass. This is a serious argument, right? There's too many bass. So taking a few off the bed, carrying them off. So then the bluegills come in and eat the eggs. Maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's,
Has anyone ever said that a lake has too many bass?
Oh, yeah. It can happen. A lake can have too many bass. It can have too many bass in the same size category. The lake can become stunted. It's a real thing. So stunted. But that's a great topic. So let me know what you think about it. We're trying to do the best we can of monitoring some of these comments that come in too. But
somebody did ask about your Abu Garcia rod reels. Hang tight. You probably cannot get the one that you're looking for. I can't remember exactly which one you said, unless you can find it somewhere getting clearance out. Maybe Tackle Warehouse, I think, was clearancing out the last of them. Yeah. But don't worry, we've got some new stuff coming.
Yes. New Abu Garcia Ike series coming at ICAST this year. So
not even sure if we're allowed to say that yet, but we just did.
We just said it. It's fine. We're going to say a lot of stuff on live here, but very excited about it. So keep your eye out for the new rods and reels.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that we typically go back to the same lakes over and over again. I know we go back to the same cities for the classic over and over again. And we've all discussed this before. We know there's like so many politics and reasons for things that happen because the city pays, or there's like an expo with a this and a that and a lake, and it all has to it has to be.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say.
What?
No, I'm glad you brought this topic up.
So I want to hear from people. Now, take out all of the considerations of the rules at which you need to have a classic. I want to hear people's opinions on like where they think the most amazing fishery or city or place that would really be highlighted with a classic where you have like 50 of the top anglers.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question.
Removing the politics and the money and the expo location, like where places.
That's a great question. On a broader scale, I would like to say, where would a good elite tournament be? Or where would a good Bass Pro Tour event be that's not the same over and over and over. Okay. So Beck's taking a little hiatus, but I'm glad you brought this up because this is my opinion. Remember, on Ike Live here, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's great about living in the United States is we can all have our own opinion. My opinion is that the tours keep going to the same places over and over and over, and it's boring as shit. It's boring as shit. Nobody wants to keep going to Harris Chain, Kissimmee, and Florida over and over and over. No one wants to keep going to Guntersville every year. You know, I think we need more variation in locations, states, geography, types of fisheries, seasons when we go. And here's the bigger problem. And you know, going to go ahead and bash the tours organizers, the leagues once again. This is like a common theme for me. The anglers and the fans' wants and needs are like number 11 on a list of 10 things. You see what I'm saying? And right. Beck, you have to agree with me. You have to agree with me. Listen, hold on before we get that. When Bass or MLF or whoever picks a location, number 1 on the list is that right there, is cold cash, money. Who's going to pay them the most? Number 2, you know, and they go down the line of, you know, well, can we get free housing? Can we, you know, which community is going to help us promote? You know, there's a list of things. And where the anglers want to go or where the fans want to see the anglers go is not even on the top 10. And that's sad. That's sad. It shouldn't be that way. Okay. What do we got?
So we've got Orange, Texas, the Sabine. We've got the Susquehanna Flats, which...
Susquehanna Flats would be cool. We've been there. Well, it got canceled. We were there once and then it got canceled. So we actually only had one major tour event there.
Which would be tough if you tried to do it in like February, but that
it wouldn't be in February. I mean, that would be a good classic, I don't think.
Greer's Ferry,
Arkansas.
Cool
place.
We've got Gaston, Virginia, Green, Wisconsin. Somebody said go back out west, Connecticut River, Long Island, New York.
Yeah, Connecticut River, cool. Super cool place.
Yeah, I think going to like a city. Wouldn't it be fun to like just go to like downtown Chicago?
Chicago would be super cool. Super cool. Yeah. Well, there was a classic in Chicago. There was a classic in Chicago. And the classic in Chicago, from a performance standpoint of people going to the event, was a failure. If you remember, Woo Dave's won. I think this was 2000. Does that sound right? 2000 something. Woo Dave's won, and the tournament was really cool. Besides, we had like 10 and 12 foot waves. The tournament was cool. The setting, largemouth, smallmouth, river, lake. I like that, but they drew very few people. So that's back when the Classic was in the summer. The Classic was in July or August, and we weighed in at Soldier Field.
That'd be cool.
And I remember looking out there at the crowds, and there were like a couple hundred people, which was kind of a bummer, you know. But anyway.
What's his name? Did Mike Ditka come?
I didn't see Ditka.
Like I still love
No, I didn't see Ditka. But
I just know he has a restaurant and he makes really good French toast. Seriously, if you're ever in Chicago, you have to go to Ditka's. Ditka's.
Ditka.
Because the French toast is rolled in frosted flakes.
Ooh.
It's like this big fat brioche toast.
Yeah.
Rolled in frosted flakes.
Sounds like
piled up like this high.
Sounds like carp bait. I like it.
Oh my God, so amazing.
I like it.
Now y'all should go home and try to make that.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a segue, but we were talking about the Bassmaster Classic in Chicago, and Woo Dave's won. And real quick, shout out to Woo Dave's. You know, Woo is one of the original heroes of bass fishing. Really, really is. in my opinion, big hero of mine at least. And what Wu did when he won the Classic was so interesting, and it was groundbreaking that it created a rule. So if you're watching this right now, if you're a history buff on bass fishing, which I am, Wu Daves won the Classic that year at Chicago, and the next year he opted out of fishing the tour. And so this was before there was a rule in place. So at the time, he was the first guy to ever do it. He won the Classic. He said, "Where's my money?" Got paid for his Classic win, and then had the wherewithal to say, "I have 1 year of being the Classic champ. I have this amazing platform for a year." And guess what he did? He said, "Screw the tournaments. I'm going to book as many shows as I can book. I'm going to do appearances. I'm going to do promotions. I'm going to work with companies and create product." If you remember the Woo shoe.
What's a Woo shoe?
He did a deal with a shoe company. He had a Woo shoe, the Woo shoe. But so here's a guy that had amazing business sense to go and hustle for a year after he won the Classic. And after that, Bass created a rule that said, if you win the Classic, you have to compete again the next year, or you don't automatically make the next Classic. Well, Wu didn't have that rule. He didn't compete that year, and he still made the Classic the following year. It's genius. And honestly, you know,
that's why Otto wasn't allowed to come and fish the next Classic.
That's true. Yeah.
That's when the MLS.
That's why I couldn't fish it. But, you know, think about that at that time frame, which was, again, I think the 2000 era, right? It might have been 2000. Wu Daves, genius, because he turned his Classic win into $1 million win. He really did. And that's a big number when you're talking about professional bass fishing. $1 million is a lot of money. It still is now, but in 2000, $1 million was a lot of money. So he was able to parlay his win into making a lot of money.
And he made shoes.
And he made shoes.
Like a dream come true for any.
Yeah. And he made shoes. So it was good. So really smart. And, you know, maybe a couple things attached to that. The opposite of that would be guys that win the Classic and do nothing.
Okay, but hold on.
Yes.
In their defense, can
Okay.
I say something? So
Sure.
ESPN owned Bass for years, and so you were privy to a lot of what ESPN opened doors for when you won the Classic.
Yeah.
You have to admit that. Now, not everyone in that ESPN era took advantage of things like you did, but there was definitely opportunities that presented themselves.
A lot of opportunities because ESPN owned it.
Right.
Right. Sure.
Yes, you could take the opportunities or not take the opportunities. It happened probably 50-50 during the ESPN years.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, now that they're not owned by someone like ESPN, it's just Bass. If you don't have the wherewithal or the marketing sense to like turn that into something,
it's bad.
How do you do that?
It's bad. Yeah, guys, listen, when they say a Classic win is worth $1 million, I would argue that it is not anymore. Because those opportunities aren't there.
Well, it could be.
It could be, but you gotta hustle. You gotta go out and hustle your ass off and make those things happen. But another slight on professional bass fishing is, why is that? Why are we 15, 20 years later, whatever, and there are less opportunities to go and do promotion, to go and do marketing? Why are there less opportunities provided by the organization? Shame on them. The other thing is, why is there less money on the championship events? Man, think about that era. The early 2000s, mid 2000s. Bassmaster Classic win, $500,000. FLW, $1 million tournaments. Shout out to David Dudley for winning $1 million in a tournament. Those opportunities aren't there. Listen, And all
the
of
anglers have to give as much as the organization gives too. Like you've got to market yourself. You've got to sell the sport too.
I know that.
If the anglers aren't out doing it.
I know that.
I mean, let's be honest. What sells right now? Sex. Who's on OnlyFans? Nobody. And the only person taking his clothes off is Matt Robertson, and nobody wants to see that. There ain't no Thor out here.
Well, Matt Robertson might have an OnlyFans. Does he have an OnlyFans account?
I mean, he could.
He might have an OnlyFans.
But
But I agree with that. But listen, how in a sport like this, you talk about trying to grow a sport growth. How are you winning less money in 2024 than you won in 2000? It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be that way. In football, baseball, hockey, soccer, name any other sport, pocket ball, those athletes,
they're paid well.
Yeah. Those athletes are making more money in 2024 than they were in 2000. And in bass fishing, we're making less in our tournament wins, and we have less opportunities. Less opportunities. Shame on the organizations for paying out less. Shame on the organizations for not having a PR machine to help its anglers. Shame on them.
Shame. What was the
shame on that?
Wait, hold on. What was the was it Game of Thrones? Shame.
I don't watch that.
Doesn't have the reference. Kyle Campbell, thank you.
Yo, Kyle.
Thank you for my next business venture, OnlyFins.
OnlyFins. Oh, yes. Oh, we're stealing that. Kyle, don't trademark that in the next couple of days because we got an attorney that we're going to call immediately when this podcast is over. She got a little limp going on there. Yeah, that's an interesting
OnlyFans.
That's an interesting business opportunity there.
I'm not sure we're gonna spend that one, but we will.
Yeah, I don't know either. But what? Yeah, what else we got going on? Can you see some other questions coming through? Let's see. Less opportunities because the road for promotion has been set. You can sell these days without anyone winning. Okay. That's a good comment, and that came from Alex Perez. Good comment. The sport, this is from Bass Geek. The sport has been mismanaged for years. I would agree with that.
Is it mismanagement or is it a lack of creativity? Because the industry and the organization just hasn't changed. I mean, it is what it is. It's exactly the same as it's been for years. So is that mismanagement or just a lack of creativity changing with the times? Like I think they've modernized. Like we have Bass Track, which I personally don't enjoy.
Vegas.
But I'm distracted. There's small children. Vegas. What?
Go to bed, man.
Go to bed or lose your phone.
Go to bed. I would agree. I would agree with some of that because here's what I think about though. I think about the early days of bass, even the early days of FLW. Do you remember what the question was? Yeah, well, but here's what I want to say. I don't remember the exact question, but back in the early days of organizations, media and coverage through media outlets was important. Like I remember my first couple classics, 99, 2000, those early ones. There would be so much media presence there and the coverage. And I'm not talking about Bass Fan and Bass Zone. And they're great. That's great fishing coverage. But, the New York Times, like the first Bass Classic I ever fished, and I made it as an amateur. I rode with a media guy from the New York Times that was invited by the organization. His trip was paid, his hotel was put up, right? Like the organizations were creating a PR machine to help the sport and help the anglers. And nowadays they don't have that. And what you said is true. They have some great stuff. And I don't want to make it sound like all doom and gloom. They have Bass Track and they're doing a good job with social media and the web and stuff like that. But man, spend some money, invest some of the money that you're making back into the sport, invest some of that money into the future of the anglers, the welfare of the anglers. Honestly, would it hurt to hire a PR agency to help the anglers, to
Well,
help the sport?
I think back in the ESPN days, they understood the give and take, because if you helped boost an angler and you made him bigger, then it drew more people to him. It made him more financially sound, which kept him around longer, which ultimately drew more anglers into the sport. Like, it was a give and take, but they fed off each other.
Right.
I mean, bass for a while. I mean, think about it, like John Barone as a non-fishing person came in. Like, they hired someone internally to tell more of the angler stories from a non-fishing perspective. But without a PR agency, an external PR agency that's based out of like a major city, like
New York City, Los Angeles,
or like even a Chicago, Atlanta, something like.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm maybe I'm jaded, but I think we could use a little help from a PR standpoint, and I think the organization should be doing that. So just my opinion. But Classic winner, we just had an amazing Bassmaster Classic. I want to see him on late night talk show. I want to see him on Johnny Carson. That was a joke. I want to see him on a late night talk show. I want to see him in a mainstream magazine.
What is my mission in life?
To spend money and buy purses.
My other mission in life.
Where
am I going to put you as a?
Oh, Dancing with the Stars.
Yes. Celebrity on Dancing with the Stars.
Mickey wants to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Before he collapses and his meniscus tears and his cholesterol goes too high.
I got a bad knee. Got a bad knee. I got a prostate's falling out of my body. I got all kinds of shit going on.
You did try to breakdance at the Classic.
I did try to breakdance at the Classic. Yeah. Speaking of breakdancing, if you're watching this right now, I don't know if you knew this, but this is a fact. Fact check it for me, Beck. Breakdancing is a Olympic sport this year.
Just 1 year.
Just 1 year. It is a Olympic sport this year at the Summer Games in Paris.
Yes.
Man.
But when they come to LA, it's not an Olympic sport.
That's strange.
It's strange.
But
we saw some guys breaking in Boston.
We did.
Very cool.
But I'm very proud of breakdancing making the Olympics as a sport. I believe it is a sport. It has a lot of the elements of competition, of choreography, of physical stamina that gymnastics has, fencing. I could compare it to some other Olympic sports.
You have to be super athletic.
You have to be super athletic. And there's a competitive element to breakdancing. So I'm proud, very proud as a former breakdancer myself, of that making Olympic sport. Now, here's the next segue for you guys. All right, let's start clean. Clean slate. Next question. In my dream of fishing, bass fishing, but maybe fishing, more of a global fishing scene, one of my dreams, and I have this dream occasionally, and it wakes me up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, and I wake up smiling and happy. One of my dreams is to have fishing be an Olympic sport. So let's talk about
just
this
one time, like break.
Well, I don't want it one time. I would like it to be an Olympic sport, and then forever and ever be in the Summer Games. Summer Games would make more sense. But if you're watching this, could fishing be an Olympic sport, and should fishing be an Olympic sport?
Well, we have our first sponsor.
We do.
James Versick. Hopefully I said your name correctly.
Yo, James.
He's going to sponsor you at the Olympics.
Yo, James. Sponsor me.
Let's talk.
Let's talk, James. I think it should be an Olympic sport, and I have the model for this idea comes directly from the Hobie Worlds. If you're watching this and you're a kayak angler, you know about or remember the Hobie Worlds, which Hobie Kayaks would put this event on every year, and it would change locations, just like the Olympics.
Yeah, it was super cool.
U.S., Europe, Australia.
They still do it, right?
They still do it, but I don't think it has. I don't know if it has the same. Maybe it does. I don't know. But Hobie Worlds would bring together anglers from all over the world to compete
Why did we just shut down?
I don't know. We shut down for a second. It was probably the Olympic Committee trying to shut us down.
We've been buffered.
We've been buffered permanently. We're coming back slowly but surely. They could do it. It's honestly possible. I think they could do it as an Olympic sport. And each summer, when it changed locations, you fish for the species in that locale. Oh boy. Your browser has lost connection to your camera. Make sure you have the right camera and close any other applications that might be using it. Okay. So if you're listening to me right now, hang in there. We're gonna
just keep listening.
We're gonna hopefully figure this camera issue out. I don't know. There it goes. I don't know what that camera.
It just timed out. I don't know.
It timed out. But anyway, getting back to it. Besides all these,
it wouldn't be Ike Live if there wasn't a
right
hiccup. Is
the problem. Even without Brian the Carpenter, there's still problems here. But I think there should be an Olympic fishing as an Olympic sport. I think it would be cool.
People said summer and winter because you could ice fish.
You could do ice fishing in the winter, but I like
and
this.
You could like curl your way.
You could curl your way. Curling. Yeah, you can curl your way up.
Curl, not curl.
I like the idea. So what are people saying? I think it's a great idea. Listen, you could have it in Japan, fish for bass. You could have it in South America, fish for peacocks. You could have it in Canada.
Yeah, I like the just general fishing. Just
fishing, right?
Yeah, the Hobie Worlds is probably a great way to like. And
you could set the species mark. You could, there's a lot of systems where you could weigh or you could measure. You could bank fish in certain city environments. You could kayak fish. You could big boat. I mean, you could, but it would really highlight the sport of fishing. And
you could bring different anglers.
You could bring different anglers in too.
It'd be pretty fun. You could have like walleye guys.
Walleye guys. You could have men, women, different races, different backgrounds. Okay, everybody. This is Fiona. Say hi, Fiona. Fiona Piranha. This is one of our new dogs. She's a really good dog. She's when it comes to dogs, it may be a good segue here. When it comes to dogs, by the way, let me start by saying this. I love dogs. Don't let that thing that happened at Grand Lake all those years ago, don't let that taint you. That was just me.
So tell everyone how Fiona Piranha came to
all right, so we got a dog a couple of years, 3, 4. How old's Quincy? 4 years.
Quincy Jones is a COVID.
He's a COVID dog. So we got a dog during COVID named Quincy, and he's a great dog. We loved him. So got to the point where we felt like Quincy should have a companion. I was away at a Toyota owners tournament, and I get a phone call came in or a FaceTime. It was a FaceTime, and basically it was Becky. You were buying Fiona.
No, I was on my social media feed, and the rescue that I got Quincy from showed a female puppy that looked almost exactly like Quincy, and I'd had a glass of wine, and I said, "Don't you think she's so pretty? She looks like Quincy. We should probably get her." And he just agreed with me. He makes it seem like I was the crazy lady who had a trigger. Anyway, so I sent a message to the lady, the rescue. I took Quincy the next day along with the children. We met this whole pack of puppies. The one that sat back in the corner, I was like, "Oh, I want that one." And along came Fiona Piranha, the Polynesian street dog. Yeah. So we have a thing for rescue dogs. So black ones.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter, but a rescue dog.
No, I have a thing for black rescues because they're the least likely to be rescued because people assume that a black dog is an aggressive dog. So I'm fine with that. Yeah. So I'll just take them all.
Yeah. So we've got these 2 dogs, and one of the things you could do now with modern technology is you can get DNA testing for your dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know this sounds.
We don't do it for ourselves.
We don't do it for ourselves because I have other issues with DNA testing, but
trust issues.
I have trust issues. But for dogs, we do the DNA doggy test, and it comes back and tells you what kind of breeds the dogs are. So the funny thing about Quincy, so we get Quincy's results, and Quincy's like half Pyrenees.
Yeah, his mom was a purebred Pyrenees.
Half
His
Pyrenees.
dad was a German Shepherd.
Yeah,
mix.
and then he had like a couple other things, like maybe like 2 or 3 other things. So Quincy was very just this, and then this, and this, and this, and that's it. Fiona's DNA test came back, and she's like
43 breeds.
She's like 50 things. Look at her. Look at her. She's 50 things. But one of the breeds that came back, and the results.
She was a Polynesian street dog.
Polynesian street dog.
So we looked it up.
We looked it up because I was like, this shit ain't real.
Yeah.
There ain't no way there's a Polynesian street dog. Like, they're making shit. This company's making shit up. They took our money and are making shit up.
It's extinct.
It's a real breed and extinct and like a dinosaur. And so now we have this little amazing Fiona that steals things and brings things to you, and she eats everything, and she's such a street. I can imagine her.
Shut your doors unless you want
yeah, like I can close.
And she doesn't just chew on things.
Yeah.
She just plows straight through them.
So
she's a piranha.
She's a piranha. She's a street thief. She's a Polynesian street thief, but she's great though. She's a great fit in this household. So we love you, Fiona.
So the dogs.
We definitely love it.
Oh, when were you gone? Like a week and a half ago?
Yeah.
I let Quincy out. He's going crazy. No, nothing is allowed near his perimeter. He's going nuts. I let him out, and she had just been spayed. So I was like, let him do his crazy zoomies, and then I'll let her out. So I'm still trying to keep her calm, but I'm not really the best at, this dog parenting thing. I was over putting her on a leash. I was like, she'll be fine. So anyways, let her out, and she zooms into the bushes. I'm like, why are they in the bushes? Oh. Then I hear her screaming. Long story short, my 2 dogs took out a groundhog. Groundhog! She's the dumb dog that just kept diving at it, and then it would circle back around and like bite at her. Quincy's instinct was a little bit more like good hunter-esque and just waited for it to come out of the bushes, took it. He's not like a shaker. He's more of a like, I'm going to internally injure you until you just die. So I get the puppy inside. Quincy will not give up the groundhog. Of course, Mike's not home for this. Come on. Quincy pranced around the yard.
There's the Quincy dog.
Quincy Jones. He pranced around the yard with a very massive groundhog in his mouth. It was your dreams come true after 4 years.
That was his dream come true. He ate his first groundhog.
Right?
I did see real quick. I was looking. We have Lenny chimed in from France. So it's pretty cool that this is a worldwide sport, worldwide show, podcast, and we got people from all over the world chiming in. So
that has all of the socials. We don't even have to use this.
Oh, it has all of them to come up. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're so dumb we don't even know. We can look right at the screen. It says, is it Wyland said, the glasses are on. That's right. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to keep up with some of the comments, but I can't because I'm old and I'm slow and I'm blind. But
Kevin wants to know if you're going to fish the Bass Kayak on the Susky again.
Yes.
Fit the schedule.
Yeah. So Kevin, here's I'm signed up for the Bass Kayak event on the Susquehanna. I even have a lodging booked, but we found out that it's the same week as the Junior Bass Nationals. So what that means is our son Vegas is fishing, and if he qualifies for that event, I'm not going to fish it. I'm going to captain him at the national event, which is at Lake Chickamauga, Tennessee. Did I say that right? Chickamauga.
The end of July.
At the end of July. So I hope to fish the Susquehanna, and I don't hope to fish the Susquehanna because I'd really like Vegas to fish the national event, and I'd like to captain Vegas. So we'll see. But the Susquehanna is an amazing fishery, so would be great.
I think we might be bringing the Ike Foundation kayak event this fall to the Susquehanna.
Oh yeah, you want to tease them on that? Okay, so listen, this is not official yet, but if you're watching and you kayak fish, this is we're gonna give you a little sprinkle. Go ahead, Beck. What do we got?
That was it.
That was it. Okay.
We
Potentially.
I think we are. We
We
just
are.
have to figure out the date. We're going to figure out the pools. It's
September-ish in the fall, September, October.
It's not super simple to get the permitting because
permits
it's like
and all that
multi-county.
stuff. Right.
Anyways, we're working on it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
Someone asked how long before Vegas gets a basket. That's going to be a long time. Mom is not ready for him to drive a big boat. We're going to stick with John boats for now.
John boats. Yeah. John boats and kayaks. John boats and kayaks.
Funny story. Twice in the last week, Mike stopped into a tackle shop, and the guys in the tackle shop handed Mike a flyer for a local tournament and said, "Can Vegas fish?"
Can Vegas? They don't even want
to. Mike.
Yeah, they don't care about me. They know I can't catch fish anymore. So now they're trying to get Vegas to fish all the tournaments. So
then
that's okay.
Today I received a text message from another podcast, and they said, "Hey, we'd love to get Mike back on, and can Vegas come too?"
Yeah, can Vegas go? They want to. Yeah, Vegas is. Yeah, he's doing good. I'm excited for him. He's a good kid, man. He's a really good kid.
He has a good personality. We're so excited that he actually speaks the English language now.
He speaks the English language.
He started out as a toddler speaking his own
language. Yeah.
So now he
Vegas is interesting upbringing. He cried for the first 2 years of his life. He just cried. 1 year. He cried nonstop. And then he did have his own language, which was really cool. For a couple years. But now he speaks English, and it's great. We can understand what he's saying, and he catches fish. It's perfect.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
We like him. We're going to keep him.
We're going to keep him. But it is cool to see youth fishing in general right now, isn't it? With juniors and high school and colleges, and man, what a cool.
There's even a combine now.
There's a combine. There's a college combine. So I've had people already, asking me about Vegas and saying, well, where's he want to go? And he's got to commit by his junior year. He's going to have to commit to a school. And I'm like, dude, he's in 7th grade. He's 13. He's still crapping himself. Like, he ain't doing any of this yet. You know what I mean? So, but it's cool. It is cool to see it, though. And, if you look at the sport right now, you're seeing these young guys, and a lot of them have come up through that system. The high school, the juniors, the high school, the college. And it really is preparing them. And I think, I don't want to get back into forward-face sonar, but regardless of forward-face sonar, I think you've got a crop of young guys right now that are coming through the system.
Yeah.
And they're way wise beyond their years because they've trained from a very early age. And it should be like that in a sport. It should be like that.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I think it's really cool. Yeah. Lenny, I see Lenny chimed in and got to fish the DOD. Yeah. The DOD. Yeah. I love that place, man.
Kyle Campbell said, is there a stigma surrounding YouTube anglers joining the ranks of pros? Are they looked down on or are they welcome? What's your take? As I've heard lots of different takes on this topic.
Yeah. That's a great
fish. You can fish.
Yeah, you can fish. You can fish. Who said that? Who asked that question? Kyle? Was it Kyle? Who was it?
It scrolled.
It scrolled. Well, you can go back. Great question. And here's my take on it. So there's two parts to that. So the one is, and Becky hit it on the head. Listen, if you can fish and you could qualify and you could go through the ranks and qualify for the elites or the Bass Pro Tour, or dude, you deserve to be there, right? If your background's YouTube and you qualify for the elites, you're good.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it.
Let's be honest though, this sport is very much, if you're different, then there's going to be people who don't like you. Mike is the poster child for that. Yeah. But at the same time, own that and make that your own, which like Ben Milliken has done for himself.
He's done a good job. He's done a good job.
But hey, listen, if you can fish, if you can qualify.
If you can qualify and you can fish, you can do it. Now, the second part to that, and maybe this was toned into this question, is a lot of people hate on the YouTube guys because they're not professionals or whatever. And so here's my take on that. And this is honest to goodness from the heart. I've never hated on any of those guys. Even when those guys have hated on me, that's happened a little bit. I've never hated on them because I saw the bigger picture of what they're doing and what they've done, you know, and I don't even have to name any of them, but the YouTube guys that have helped grow the sport, YouTube guys that have a giant following, that 8, 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever their age is, but especially young kids like to watch their channel. And young kids watch their channel and want to go fishing. That's fucking great. That's awesome. That's what we got to do, right? How you going to hate on that? How you going to hate on that? You can't hate on that, you know?
Not if you're trying to grow the sport.
Not if you're trying to grow the sport. So
I'm trying to create your own little club.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah. So no, I've never had any disdain toward any of the YouTube guys. I think they're doing a great service for the growth of the sport, and that's needed. You know, it's needed. So
we need all sorts of different people.
We need a lot of different people. We need a lot of different people. Yes, we do.
Not just that, but you always need controversy anywhere.
Yeah, well, controversy follows the world right now. You know, it's a controversial world right now. You know, people saying right now, I see what they're saying. They're saying, man, I see that hat you're wearing. What's that mean? Does it have political ties to it? Got to mean something. That's what they're thinking, but it's just a hat.
Your hat?
It's just a hat. It's just a hat. I do want to, hold on. I want to show you something. I want to change topics a little bit, show you something if I can find it back here. So, Beck, you take over for a second. There you go. I found it. All right. We went back here. This is an Ike Live at the bar, so I do want to bring this back up, and I want to bring this up. If you're watching this right now, and especially if you're older, and you've been through it, you know, I mean, you know, that scene when you're going out a lot, you're going to clubs and you're going to bars and you're hanging out or whatever.
Basically what he's saying is if you're old enough to have picked up a woman at the bar and not on an app, this conversation's for you.
Yeah, that's so weird now. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But if you're watching this and, you know, you used to go to the bar or whatever back in the day when you were younger, I want to know, let me see, I'll start seeing some comments pop up here. I want to know, what was your shot of choice when you went to the bar? Because this is a real thing. Is that
yours and I'm getting mine?
Yeah, I'm getting mine, Beck's going to get hers. This is a real thing. If you went to the bar back in the day, like I used to go with my homies and Brian the Carpenter, Dave Rogers, John McGraw, all those guys, Tom. If you went to the bar back in the days, you start to get that feeling, you know, at the end of the night, especially, you start getting some shots. Maybe it's the beginning of the night. But our shot of choice back in the day was Southern Comfort.
SoCo and lime.
SoCo and lime chilled. SoCo and lime chilled. So, yeah. And we used to just line them up, you know. Bartender, shots, and SoCo and lime, 5 SoCo and limes chilled. Line them up. So that was mine.
That's after Mike asked the bartender to make him a Grey Goose and vodka.
Grey Goose and vodka. That's what I was real drunk. But listen, SoCo and lime chilled. It was a great shot for us back in the day. But now, 30 years later or whatever, I don't love it. It's like, it's kind of like, you got like, I don't know, maybe it's the memory of it. But SoCo lime. All right, back with one now.
So mine, anyone who's from the Washington, D.C. area, I don't know why, but we all took shots of Grand Marnier.
Grand Marnier. Hey, Grand Marnier. That's because Beck had a butler when she was young. So she did the Grand Marnier. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
I worked for a liquor distributor. I was constantly in bars. It was my job. But we used to, I'm trying to think of what else we would.
Picklebacks? Jameson?
No.
You never do shit? Oh, Tuwaka.
Tuwaka.
Anybody remember Tuwaka? Do we have a bottle of Tuwaka?
I don't know.
Let's see, do we have Tuwaka?
That stuff's amazing. It's like vanilla. It's beautiful.
I don't think we have any Tuwaka.
Really?
I don't know if we have Tuwaka.
Gosh, we should
Tuwaka.
Fire
Not
ourselves.
Chewbacca, but Tuwaka.
Tuwaka. If you can ever find it at a bar, just have a taste. It's so delicious.
Yeah. But
and if you ever make a margarita, if you don't put a splash of this or Cointreau or something on top, a little orange,
All right, so I'm seeing Jack Daniels, Gentleman Jack. I'm seeing
Jaeger
from
bombs. Oh
Eddie.
my God, we did
Jaeger bombs from
and if you
Tyler.
did not suck that down.
Goldschlager.
Thick kernel. No Goldschlager. No.
Goldschlager with real flecks of gold.
Wait, Goldschlager is like what's the what? Fireball. Fireball is what they do now. Goldschlager is what we did back in the day.
Captain Morgan's Top Shelf from Randy. Sambuca.
Wait, Jason said Tuwaka. Jason, we're friends.
Tuwaka from Jason. Oh, I like the Sambuca one.
Oh, Rumplemans. Oh, car bombs.
Flaming Dr. Pepper. Irish car bomb's a good one. Irish car bomb's another Irish car bomb. Adam Brown with the straight up Everclear. Dude, if you want to cut to the chase, shots of Everclear. Just cut to the chase. You don't need 5 beers. Shot of Everclear. Over.
Wait, yo, like when you read some of these, can you taste them and you're like,
Oh yeah, Wild Turkey. Randy's at Wild Turkey 151. We got a blackberry brandy. That's like schnapps. Yeah, a slippery nipple from.
What's a slippery nipple?
Is a slippery nipple's got? Is it like a White Russian? Like it has like the creamy.
No, but it's browner, wasn't it?
I thought a slippery nipple had the. What is that creamy? Is it Kahlua? Not Kahlua.
Oh, Justin, like you just dated yourself with Zima with a Jolly Rancher.
Zima, yeah.
That was my freshman year in college.
Yeah, Justin. Yeah, Zima. Going back, Zima. James with the Crown Royal.
With the buttery nipples too. What's you guys with the nipples?
I don't know, but James Justice, Crown Royal. Can't go wrong with a little Crown Royal. Liquid marijuana, Devin. That's a good one. Keller Outdoors, 40-ounce Old English.
What was the quote? Rock candy and vodka. I don't know, but I remember. Do you remember that we went to a New Year's and the children were already birthed? So this couldn't have been more than like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. We went downtown Philly. We went with a couple couples, had a great night, great dinner, some cocktails. We ended up at this dive bar, and the special that night was champagne with a Pop Rocks in it.
Pop Rocks, yeah, Jack Coke.
And they called it a classy bitch. I'll never forget that. And I drank too many of them. They were disgusting, and my head hurt so bad the next day.
Yeah, I saw Mad Dog 2020 come through.
Oh my God.
That's an oldie but goodie. Listen, if you were young and didn't have a lot of money, Mad Dog 2020, nothing wrong with it, folks. Nothing wrong with it. Back then, I think it was about $3 a bottle, maybe $2.99 bottle. Grape, cherry, it had all kinds of flavors.
The Boone's Farm back in the day.
There's a Boone's Farm right there.
Strawberry
right there.
Fields.
Mike with the Boone's Farm, straight up. Bartles and James, straight up. Purple Passion. Anybody remember the Purple Passion, straight up? I think Purple Passion's what we would drink before Omar's. Anybody from South Jersey watching, before Sparkles, we'd go for some Purple Passion. Man, that was fun.
That was
the old shots. And I do have this shirt on, by the way, which is, it's not even my shirt. This is Becky's shirt that I stole, but I've been wearing it nonstop the last about 10, 15 years. Fred's Tavern. Shout out to Fred's Tavern. Still like there.
30-year-old shirt.
Yeah, it's still there. Fred's still there, which is a really nice establishment down by the shore, Jersey Shore.
Talk about moonshine. So, or no, Everclear. No, ew, did you just burn?
I did. Sorry.
That's awful.
I need another sip of sunshine though.
Grain alcohol. So gonna wrap myself out here. I was a sorority girl at James Madison University many moons ago. I graduated.
Lambda Moo, or
25 years ago, something like that. Anyways, so there was always this one party that this fraternity threw, and the latest pledges were in charge of getting the alcohol together for this party. I don't remember what it's called. I'm probably missing so many parts and pieces. But anyways, big party that we went to. It was like out at this bar in the middle of nowhere. We got bussed out there. I mean, we were very safe about that. There was never drinking, driving. Yeah. Anyways, so we go, and they fill the trash cans up with the grain alcohol and all the other stuff. And you have to add a little bit of water. Well, they made the mistake of using the water from this barn building, and clearly the well had not been properly maintained in
has
over
been used
10 years.
since George Washington.
So needless to say, everyone that came to the party who drank the drink ended up in the hospital. And
With
we're
the shits.
talking
With the shits or
hundreds
throwing
of
up?
people during exam week.
Throwing up? Shits?
Oh, it was every direction.
Oh.
Anyway, so
Yuck.
because we all got E. coli.
Oh,
Now
yuck.
I'm super proud of myself because I think I had like one glass of it. And it wasn't really. I'm not a super sweet drinker, so I switched to beer pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But they were lined up in the hallways of the hospital.
Oh my God.
That's how many sick people that then the university was called in to get involved because clearly something bad had happened.
Good segue here, guys. I have heard that
You're welcome.
the hot new forward-facing sonar bait is not a jig head minnow. It's actually a jig head E. coli. That's right. They're sticking the E. coli on a jig head and just shaking it and reeling it at the same time. So all you FFS guys, E. coli is the next big bait.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We hit our time limit.
Have we?
Yeah.
Wow. That was pretty awesome.
Plus, we have to go check on our daughters too.
Yeah.
Field hockey ball to the head.
Justin, real quick. I see Justin chimed in with bourbon of choice. I'm a big Weller fan. What's the Elmer something or other? Elmer T. Lee, I think it is. Beck got me. I like it a lot. That's a good one. I've had some Pappy. Pappy's. I like Pappy. You know. Listen, if it's liquor, I like it.
That's not true.
Nah, that's not true. But I like Weller. I like Weller. And which is the Weller I like? I can't remember.
Orange label.
The orange label Weller, which I'm not like giant into it, but that's the one that I like a lot. I could drink every day. It's really, really good. But this was awesome. I do real quick why we still have your ear. We do want to remind you of a couple things with the Ike Foundation that are happening. So Beck, what do we got for everyone?
June 1st is this year's Pro-Am
June
on
1st.
the Upper Susquehanna, Northeast Maryland.
Yeah.
Please get signed up.
Sign up.
Once again, someone is going to be leaving that event with a brand new Basscat boat with a Yamaha motor on the back. I believe we're the only
It's unheard
tournament in the Northeast that gives away a brand new boat as a first place prize. Second, third, fourth. We've got a ton of prizes. We've got amazing sponsors. There's power poles, Lowrance units. There's always so much stuff in the mix there. It's amazing. The prizes are awesome. But here's the thing. Your entry fee to that event, yes, I know you're fishing to win. You're fishing to win a boat. But it is a tax-free donation to the Ike Foundation.
Yes.
Every dollar that's brought in from that event gets kids fishing. It doesn't just get kids fishing in the Northeast. We supply rods, reels, tackle boxes.
All over the country.
All over the country to make sure that groups, police groups, people in rural disadvantaged areas, they're getting kids into the outdoors, which is what is most important to us because listen, we live in a house where our kids are consumed by electronics if given the opportunity. So there's a disconnect from nature, the outdoors, fishing, just the just ecology, conservation. We're trying to get kids outside. So please, if you live in the Northeast, come sign up, fish.
Come hang out, come fish it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good tournament.
If not, then please reach out to us. We're always looking for volunteers because we do have a kids fishing event that day. So come help us if you can't fish the event.
Yep. Come help us. And we have, if you're watching this and you live in the tri-state area, we do have a couple kids events coming up as well. We have a Hook 'em Early tournament. I think it's next Saturday in Gloucester City. And then we have our youth tournament trail.
So Gloucester City is this coming Saturday.
Gloucester City, New Jersey, this coming Saturday.
Just a on the bank fishing tournament or just fishing event for kids. But then our youth fishing tournament, the first one is Lum's Pond on May 18th.
Yes.
I do believe.
Yes. So check that out. And where can they go if they're watching right now and they're like, man, I want to sign up for that tournament, or I want to take a kid. Where going to go to find it?
The IkeFoundation.org has all the information about all of our events. Somebody said, can the Ike Foundation do something here in Kentucky?
Eddie said that.
Eddie, we support groups all over. So if there's somebody there who's willing to basically put on what we do. We support those groups.
We
So
support those
if
groups.
you know somebody, we're a small team, so it's hard for us to get across the country, but we support everybody.
We support them all. Yeah.
And the scholarship had over 200 applicants this year. So it is a doozy to get through those. But the 15th of May, we will be announcing the recipients of
That's awesome.
the Ike Foundation Scholarship. So that's kids who gave back through the outdoors.
It's very cool.
Graduating high school seniors, going off to college, that
Super
kind of
cool.
thing.
Super
There
cool.
was definitely some chat GPT essays in the mix.
Chat GPT
But,
essays.
But some great applicants. So it's been tough narrowing them down. Kate's done an awesome job of doing that.
Yeah, guys, robots are taking over the world. I don't know if you knew that.
Robots in the house. Okay. So, dun dun. Make sure you go and check out Bass University. Those guys are awesome, constantly putting out amazing content. Any instruction you might need. Bass University. Pete the Dean.
I was popping. Must be a wild popping. I was popping.
I don't even know if I have anything else to say.
I don't either. Guys, this was awesome again. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. We are going to make this a regular thing. At the very least, I think we're going to try to do one a month. And it's really fun. And I hope you had a good time watching tonight. Want to remind you, head on over to the IkeFoundation.org if you want to help get kids fishing. Also, keep your eye out on the IkeLive.com site for a lot of really good podcasts. Not just the At the Bars, but we've got some really good guests coming up. Guy named KVD might be coming on one of the shows. We might have a guy named Ski Race coming on one of the shows. So some really good shows coming up. Keep your eye out for those brand new podcasts.
And if you can lip read, you know what he just said.
Yeah, if you can lip read, you know what I just said. But Ike Live's available a lot of places, right? So we got it on IkeLive.com, Stitcher, iTunes, blah, blah, blah. All those podcast platforms.
Yeah. If you're just trying to do the audio, if you want to see it, we've got you covered on Facebook and YouTube. We're even throwing it out there on Instagram, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. Anywhere you want to watch it. Anywhere you can find us.
Yeah.
On the IkeLive.com for all old episodes. If you want to see Dave, aka Stormtrooper, or Brian breaking some stuff and not able to use a board, go check out the archived or us in costumes.
Yeah.
God,
10 years.
Costumes.
Can you believe it? 10 years of this show. It's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time. Very, very proud of it. And I hope you guys, a lot of you tonight watching probably have watched from day one. So thank you for all the support over 10 years. And it's been a lot of fun. We're going to continue to have fun. So.
And Chris asked, are we going to get an old school shoot? Yes, we will have old school shows this year with the whole crew. Life just got in the way. It's really hard to coordinate getting everyone together because of schedules and work schedules and everything. But we will definitely make it happen as soon as we can because it's always fun. And you never know what Dave's going to tell you about, like, ghosts and mirrors or something.
Let me tell you, the latest from Dave Brodzik, aka Stormtrooper, aka Fatty, is that the recent solar eclipse was fake. I heard that today from Brian. The recent solar eclipse
How is that possible to be fake?
Was fake.
What does that mean?
Well, it wasn't real.
It just had like a big cardboard thing.
I don't know. There's apparently a big big part of the population that believes the solar eclipse was not real. And here's the other thing too. There's a lot of flat earthers out there still to this day.
Flat earther. Do they not have a better name for themselves?
No, they're flat earthers. There's still a lot of people that believe the Earth's flat. The solar eclipse was not
Neil
real.
Armstrong did not.
The lunar landing didn't happen. The moon is made out of it's a mega structure. It's not even real. It's a
Death Star.
man-made object up there in the sky. all these things are possible. I don't know. They're not probable, but they're possible. So there you have it. Guys, thanks for watching tonight. We had a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed hanging at the bar with Becky and I. We had a really good time.
Sorry, we're not good with our conspiracy
Had a couple
theories.
beers, had a couple cocktails, told a couple stories. So thank you for watching. Definitely we will be doing these monthly. So look forward to seeing you again here at the bar very soon. So hope you have a great night. Hope you have a wonderful week, and see you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you fish for excitement? Do you fish for passion? Do you fish to get outside? Or do you fish to win? Abu Garcia for life. You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water. You know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have the experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
Yeah.
It'd be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us.
Yeah.
We're proud of it.
I subscribe to Bass U TV, and so should you. Great place to learn about anything you want to know about bass fishing. You get it at Bass U. We got the best of the best.
I'm not just an instructor, I'm a subscriber.
I'm John Cruz, and I am a subscriber.
You can always learn, and watching Bass U definitely helps with that. It's something that I like to do, and it's definitely something that you need to do.
If I'm still learning, you should be too. Subscribe to Bass U because you'll learn how to catch a lot more fish.
Ike Live, brought to you exclusively by Abu Garcia.